This is Geometry Lesson 8.2, and on this page we're going to talk about areas of triangles, trapezoids, and kites. So 3 different shapes means 3 different formulas. The first one is triangles. To get the area of a triangle, we're going to do the base times the height divided by 2. Next one is trapezoid. To get the area of a trapezoid, we're going to do base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. And the last one is the kite. To get the area of a kite, we're going to do the length of one diagonal times the length of the second diagonal divided by 2. Now, if you've seen these formulas before, you may have instead seen things like 1/2 times in the front instead of a divide by 2 at the back, and that is the same thing. So these aren't the only ways to calculate these are just the ways that I like to talk about them. And then I also want to give you your formulas in terms of solving for other components too. So like let's say you have the area of a triangle and want to find out its base. If you're trying to get the base given the area and the height, we're just going to do the opposite of everything in the formula. We're going to divide by the height instead of times by the height. We're going to times by 2 instead of divide by 2. And that works for the height also. If you know the area, you can divide by the base and times it by 2. For the trapezoid, let's say you wanted to get the height of the trapezoid, you would take your area and divide it by your bases. You're still going to add them because PEMDAS, we're going to do that sum before we do anything else. And then we're going to undo our divide by 2 with the times 2. Let's say you wanted to get a base of your trapezoid. You would take your area divided by your height and times 2. So we undo the divide by height, or undo the times height, undo the divide 2, and then we're going to undo the adding of the bases with a subtract. And then finally for kite, say I wanted to get the diagonal given the area, I would take my area divided by the other diagonal and times by 2. So I did my inverse of each of those operations. Again, you can add these formulas to your formula sheet, last page in your packet if you want to. I'm going to add a couple pictures so that we know where to find these measurements on each of our shapes. So if I have a triangle, my base is at the bottom and my height again is how tall it is, not how long the sides are. If I have a trapezoid, my bases would be the top and the bottom, and again the height is how tall it is, not how long the sides are. And I'm going to draw my kite this way, and a diagonal is how far it is from here to here. So basically this length is diagonal 1, and then how far it is from here to here. So that length would be diagonal 2. Sometimes you're given the halves of the diagonals and you'll have to add them together to get the full lengths of the diagonals. We'll see that on our first example. So example A gives me a kite and I'm trying to find the area of that kite. The area formula for a kite is diagonal 1 times diagonal 2 divided by 2. So here's my first diagonal from the top to the bottom. That's 2 right here and 8 right here. So my total diagonal is 10. My second diagonal goes from here to here, and I have 2 on this piece and 2 on this piece, so my total diagonal is 4. So to get my area, I would take diagonal 1 times diagonal 2 divided by 2. 40 divided by 2 means I have 20 square centimeters. Letter B gives me a triangle. And it tells me the area of the triangle is 64 square feet, and I want to find the height of the triangle. So to get the height of the triangle, my formula is that I take my area, divide it by my base, and multiply it by 2. So my area is 64, divided by my base is 8, times it by 2. 64 divided by 8 is 8. 8 times 2 means that I have 16 feet for the height of my triangle. Let's do that, and let's do that. That is it for the notes. Please let me know if you have any questions, and good luck on your exercises.